All right, I'm going to try something new here. I'm going to talk about D.B. Cooper, the famous criminal that jumped out of the plane and took $200,000 with him. I want to explain this case. Just give me a few minutes and listen to what I have to say, and you'll realize that this is why D.B. Cooper has never been caught. Imagine yourself as a detective or an FBI agent. You pay attention to the clues. They get on the plane. He does his thing. They get to the other airport. And everyone on the plane gets off except for pilot, co-pilot, and the girl that was the stewardess or flight attendant. They take off, full fuel, 2 parachutes, the bomb, the money, D.B. Cooper dressed very nicely, maybe with a trench coat and a hat, smoking his cigarettes. And he tells the flight attendant to go. He tells the flight attendant to go up with the pilot and co-pilot. They're in the cabin of the plane. Big plane, and D.B. Cooper's way back here. So now D.B. Cooper opens the door and jumps out, and they land at this airport. Meanwhile, before he lands, those passengers that were getting off the plane, the media found out about it fast. FBI, everybody found out about D.B. Cooper. And they get off the plane. They're all dressed almost the same. And the plane goes to the second location, Mexico, and as it's flying towards Mexico, he just disappears. They land wherever they land. I'm not going to pay attention to what airport it is. They land the plane. FBI is going to swarm the plane, police, and they get off the plane, and there's 3 people getting off the plane. The pilot, the co-pilot, and the stewardess. And they're not saying anything. They're not supposed to, because really the media is not supposed to know anything. But they're limiting their comments about it. They're like, oh, what happened? What happened? Were you scared? Were you this and that? All 3 get off the plane, but they look perfectly normal. Now, if somebody told you there's a goddamn guy on the plane's going to blow it up and you're that fucking captain, you ain't shaking. You're that flight attendant, you ain't shaking. You're the co-pilot, you ain't shaking. Doesn't make sense why they were so calm, first of all. Second of all, if you look it up, it is already mentioned that the co-pilot, William Ratzak, or whatever his name is, had the opportunity to get off that plane. He had the opportunity to get off that plane with the engineers and other people on the plane. But he said he couldn't get out to speak to the flight attendant. You're the goddamn co-pilot of a plane. You have to go looking for the one steward that is in control. She's the one that is the communication between the pilot, co-pilot, and D.B. Cooper. She's not in any danger right away. And even if she is in danger, you're in danger too. Get the hell off the plane. But he stays on the plane. So, they come off. D.B. Cooper's never found. Never found. No parachute. The money, yes, it washed the bar. Where's D.B. Cooper? Did he jump out of the plane? Did he hide on the plane? Did he somehow dispose of the bomb and the parachute and the money and stayed on the plane until they put it in and sneak out the back or something? Or did he jump off the plane as it was landing in whatever airport and then he jumps off, or at a lower altitude he parachutes out because the door was open the whole time? But he just disappears. Never to be found. Nothing. No trace. No DNA. And then, all of a sudden, they get 6 letters. Letters to the Organian Chronicle. I'm alive. I'm this. Taunting letters. Think of it. How did D.B. Cooper get off the plane? Now, not to change the subject, but how did JonBenet Ramsey get killed? Was it the family or was it an outsider? We don't know. No one can still figure that crime out. Taunting letter. No one can figure the crime out. A guy named William is involved. Letters are involved. Just like D.B. Cooper. Take the D.B. Cooper case. There's letters. Doesn't harm anybody. Gets away with it. And then taunts the FBI. Don't you think the FBI is going to figure this out by now? And it's an old case. Nobody really knows who D.B. Cooper is. Maybe D.B. Cooper didn't jump. That's a very big theory. A lot of people believe D.B. Cooper didn't jump. That's because he didn't. You know, he fantasied, disappeared. No one knows the real truth about that case. No one. But D.B. himself. And then, all of a sudden, D.B.'s never found. And there is a lot of skeptics and a lot of theories out there that William Ratzak, the co-pilot, had something to do with it. Take a look at William Ratzak, or whatever his name is. Look at him good. He looks like D.B. Cooper. He has that slanted eye. The same eye that William McReynolds has, putting himself in the case as a witness with JonBenet. D.B. Cooper, he's William Ratzak. He put himself twice in D.B. Cooper. There was a guy named Rickshaw or something. Rackstraw. Rackstraw murdered his father. The Uncle Bill Rackstraw went to a private investigator and said, my brother was murdered by his son. Because Uncle Bill Rackstraw tattled and said that Robert Rackstraw killed his father. This is a very intelligent man. D.B. Cooper is the same person that Bill McReynolds is. D.B. Cooper was 41, 1971. Bill McReynolds was born in 1930. Put the puzzle pieces together. Eric Eulis, this is for you. Eric, that tie, don't worry about it. It's a ruse. He didn't leave any DNA. He didn't leave any souvenirs. Just like JonBenet Ramsey, just like Maria Rudolph, just like the Fort Worth Trio, just like Amber Alert. Pay attention. Bill McReynolds has been doing this since 1957, getting away with crimes and committing it. Bill McReynolds is D.B. Cooper. Now, think about it. The media came out right after. Last night, a hijacked plane. I think, what was it? I don't know the name of the guy. Plane was hijacked by a known man by the name of D.B. Cooper. Why did they throw the B in there? It was Dan Cooper on the ticket. Everybody knows it was Dan Cooper. Why is it all of a sudden D.B. Cooper? The media has to read what is on their script. The media has to read like I'm reading a script right now. I am reading what I have written down on a piece of paper. I am a media personnel. I'm the newscaster of the night, and I'm telling you, the notorious criminal mastermind, naming himself criminal mastermind within 24 hours. He went from Dan Cooper to D.B. Cooper. How? How did they screw that up? How did they screw that up? If they found out he was actually really still Dan Cooper, why didn't they just continue calling him Dan Cooper? Oh, we made a mistake last night. It's not D.B. Cooper. He's known as Dan Cooper, so the FBI can look for him. Because he put the B in there to distract you. Another ruse, just like all the other crimes. Eric, that tie isn't going to do any good. If you believe me in any little bit, you will contact me, Eric. D.B. Cooper is the same man as Bill McReynolds. Bill McReynolds' wife is from Oregon. They got married in Washington in 1962. Pay attention. D.B. Cooper blamed it on 7 different people. Chris Christopherson or whatever his name was, and McCoy. McCoy, they thought he didn't blame it on McCoy. McCoy duplicated it, and then he became a suspect. But Rackstraw, how are these people getting involved? All these suspects, but none of them are D.B. Cooper. No one's ever found D.B. Cooper. What did he do? Poof, disappear in midair? Poof! Like a ghost, just like the Santa Claus in the JonBenét Ramsey case. Pay attention, wake up and smell the coffee. It's not that hard to figure out. D.B. Cooper is a fake name, a stage name. The scripts, the writing, look at the notes D.B. Cooper left. Novel things, mystery, his writings are all over the place. His ransom note from JonBenét is very famous. His D.B. Cooper letters are very famous. His Zodiac letters are very famous. Wake up and smell the coffee. Look at the picture of the Zodiac. Take the glasses and put them on D.B. Cooper. Take the glasses and put it on young Bill McReynolds' military picture. And you have a match. It's not that hard to figure out. I don't care what you can say. You can laugh at this video and you can say, oh, the theories. Figure it out. Try it yourself. He's putting himself in every single crime. He's a typical serial killer. I've studied serial killers. Their patterns, their habits. D.B. Cooper is Bill McReynolds. Okay? He's gone by many names. And I even think he's in charge of the bombing in 2003 in Pennsylvania. He's another Bill. William Rothstein. He said he used latex. He said he used latex in his, and he used a toupee. That's why they don't all look alike. But if you look at his eye, all those Bills have that one slant in that eye. I've posted the picture before. Watch.